Yo, what is going on, guys? Hess here, and I wanted to bring you guys a kind of a random video today. I wanted to go ahead and do a Q&A. I selected 24 questions. I pulled them from Instagram and Twitter, and shout out to everybody else that contributed to those Q&As. I just had to try to, I don't know, bring them in and try to have some sort of format to this. So, 24 questions, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so the first question, 270s versus PODs. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I like both of them quite a bit. Comfort-wise, POD, in my opinion, takes the cake over the 270s, but I do like that massive, crazy-looking air bubble on the 270s. ARCH asks, am I going to ever stop collecting shoes when I get older? First of all, I'm super old already, so what are you gonna do with your collection in the long run? Here's one of the things. So I know you guys focus on this channel because this is my sneaker YouTube channel, but at the end of the day, I'm just a regular dude that goes to a regular job, comes home to a more than regular wife, and then a couple cool little kids and 2 little pugs. So at the end of the day, I'm just a normal dude, and the sneakers really don't define me as a person. So what do I do with them? I don't really know. It's just something fun for me to be passionate about and share my passion with you guys out there online. So I don't really know what to do with the collection in the long term. I could sell the entire thing if I have to, and be completely content just buying new shoes here and there because I just like to have like new shoes, I guess. I don't know really what to say. I always plan on keeping at least 100 pairs of sneakers no matter what. I have fluxed up and down quite a bit through the year, but that's my end goal, is to have 100 pairs in rotation. We'll see what happens. Mendizzle asked, how long have I known the wife? I don't remember. That's the thing. Like when you get old, like I don't remember how many years we've dated. I know we've been married for almost 10 years, I think. So 080709 was our wedding anniversary. I know I started DJing in 2003, and I remember I saw her at one of the nightclubs that I DJ'd at every week. And I remember seeing her and like, this girl's cute, like for sure, she was always there. But I remember her because she'd always mean mug me when there was a bunch of girls coming up to the DJ booth, taking pictures with me and stuff. She was just like the salty one in the corner, just to be like, whatever. But we had a mutual friend, we ended up linking up, went on one date, and pretty much that was the end of it. Like from that point on, we were like attached by the hip. And then now we have 2 kids, like kind of cool. Z Travesty asks, what do you and your wife do as a career? My wife, if you didn't know, is a neurotrauma ICU nurse. So she gets to see all sorts of craziness in the ICU, and basically lots of people with strokes and like head trauma victims, people getting hit by cars. She does the most when she's at work doing her 12.5-hour shifts when she's in. I personally am a business analyst. I don't necessarily disclose the company that I work for, but I'm a business analyst and I work with data, basically making sure there's secure transfer for data, inbound and outbound to our database and to other people's databases and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I do for my day job. It's kind of an IT sort of role. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Lalo10 asks how to get Nike Adidas employee store passes and will I ever give any of them away? I've actually got probably over 100 people into the Adidas employee store at this point. Lots of random people have reached out to me and I've gotten a lot of people into the employee store. But I will say it's a lot more difficult for me to get passes right now. My main source basically just doesn't give me passes anymore. And so it's not easy for me to get people into the store. Nike, I can pretty much never get anybody into the store because I can barely get myself into the store. I'm really fortunate enough if somebody reaches out to me to be able to get me a pass. So it's really hard. You just have to know an employee or be a vendor or know a vendor. And sometimes those things are hard to come by. All right, this person asks, you got rid of most of your collection a while ago, but seem to be buying a ton of shoes since then. Is it just hard to resist the urge? Yes, like absolutely yes, especially when you are in a financial freedom situation where you don't have debt and you're not hurting anything because you're spending a little bit of extra money on sneakers. Plus, I make revenue off of this YouTube channel. And so because of that, I'm able to like self-fulfill and pay for my sneakers by buying sneakers. So like, of course, for me, there's a little bit more of a hidden factor, the fact that I can, like, it's a self-fulfilling business. But at the end of the day, like, I just like buying sneakers. So I've been doing this for 20 years of going to the Nike employee store and walking out with a dozen pairs of shoes or whatever it might be, just because I like sneakers and I like to have stuff that is new and just diversity of stuff. Even if I wear them once, never, or 1,000 times. It's just something that I really enjoy. So yeah, it is difficult though. My collection is getting back up there and I need a purge because I am running out of room. It makes it really difficult to create content when there's literally no room for me to be able to create. So I'm working on trying to figure out something soon and basically just purge some of the stuff. But I got to figure out what I'm going to purge and when. It's just a lot of effort to do so. Real Tonester asks, will you ever collaborate with somebody else on a regular basis in my videos? Maybe only my son, because I see him every day and it's something that we can actually do together, which is something I'm going to actually be doing more probably on his channel when I dedicate more time to it, which is going to be hopefully soon. But I don't have time to collaborate with other people just because I don't have a set schedule of when I can create content. I really create content on the fly, in between breaks with the family, after the family goes to sleep. Like it's really hard for me to find time to create content since I have a day job that I have to drive an hour to and from both directions too. So it makes it tough. And because of that, I just don't have time to collaborate with others. Not that I don't want to. I really wish I could, man. If I did this full time, there'd be a lot of other people that I would want to work with locally, as well as like online chat people, being able to do stuff like what Jock Slade does with Tiffany Beers and Nick Engel and outside the podcast. I'd love to be able to do something like that every week, but I just don't have the bandwidth, unfortunately, at this point. Especially adding the second kid to the rotation, not happening anytime soon. And speaking of that, MJO for Life asks, now having a family, do you notice or feel like sneaker fever is dying down or even becoming too repetitive, especially when it comes to OG Jordans? For me, for sure, OG Jordans is definitely been over repetitive because I've been collecting them for over 20 years. So I've had the last 2 and 3 versions of a shoe that ends up releasing. And at that point, it's like, why did I buy the newest version when I still have 2 pairs of the previous one on ice? The realization point for me was when I had 25 pairs of Air Jordan 5s and 25 pairs of Air Jordan 3s. And the reality is like, when you come into the room and you look, which one are you gonna wear? Like I narrow it down. I'm like, I'm gonna wear an Air Jordan 5. Which one is it gonna be? There's only gonna be a select 2 or 3 that I'm really feeling that I'm gonna want to go ahead and throw in a rotation. For me, for sure, it's been repetitive because I've just had too many pairs in the past. That doesn't mean I stopped buying Jordans. I bought a couple in the last haul that I just recently did. And there's always some cool ones that end up coming out. But I think that that's the best part is there's so many that are releasing. Out of the 150 Jordans that released this year, I can be selective and choose my 10 that I necessarily want. The other 20 that I might have wanted will probably be limited sneakers that I couldn't even buy because I get L's every single week on sneakers or just trying to buy them at retail, and then I won't pay resale on the open market for most of them. So that is where it is with myself on Jordans and sneakers right now. To piggyback on that, this person asks, why have I stopped wearing Jordans stripes over checks? It's not really like that, although Adidas does seed me product and Jordan Brand still doesn't, and I'm actually in the same town as Jordan Brand. I grew up 10 minutes from headquarters and I still don't have people sending me anything. So Jordan Brand, send me stuff. Maybe I'll open them and do stuff with the brand again. But at the end of the day, like, it's about preference. And a lot of the limited Jordans that end up releasing I can't get. A lot of the GRs that end up releasing I don't necessarily want. Not because of GRs, because the colorways just lack story, lack heart, I guess. And a lot of the stuff that comes out from Adidas, for one, it's comfortable. And for two, I just have been really feeling a lot of the difference. But you also got to kind of realize that I've done the Jordan thing for many years. So it's kind of exciting as soon as you extend yourself into another direction that you have something cool that you can focus on and just buy something different and fun. So I've been focusing and doing that a lot on what they've been offering. So it's not like it's always going to be like this. It's just right now this is what's happening and I'm having fun. Jack Skinner 05 asks, do you have any tips on starting a shoe collection? Don't do it. Like, start off small. You always just start off with one pair and use the income that you have that is expendable. Don't use the income that you have that you should be buying other things with. Like, if you should be saving money, you should be saving money before you buy sneakers. It should be a low priority to people, or if it's a high priority for you, then make sure that you make enough money to make the purchase a good decision and not one that's going to put you in a financial bind. Corey Sig asks, can you consider yourself a sneakerhead even when it's not hyped shoes like Vans or Converse, etc.? Absolutely. Just because you don't like hyped up sneakers doesn't mean you're less of a sneakerhead. The term sneakerhead is such a loosely defined thing anyways. It's, if you like sneakers, in my opinion, you're a sneakerhead. Even if you don't own the sneakers and you just like them, you're a sneakerhead in my books. 1850G, do you regret spending so much money on shoes? Like, when you think about what else you could have done with the money, savings, travel, etc. Not really for me because I've been able to travel, I've been able to save, and I put this as a priority for me for my business, for YouTube. But ultimately, like, it's been something that I've just been passionate about. And if you chase your passions and stuff and find ways to make revenue from those passion streams, then like it ends up being worth the financial investment. And that's been this sneaker thing from day one for me wholeheartedly. So I don't regret it at all, man. Like, I've been able to meet so many cool people from sneakers and just being passionate about sneakers that I wouldn't trade anything for that, man. It's just been a really great ride from the beginning, and something that I just continue to do because it's something I'm still passionate about. Humemo. They asked me what is the best flavor of ice cream. There's like so many good flavors of ice cream. Honestly, though, I'm like a big sweet tooth person. Like, I love cakes, and I mean, you can't tell from looking at me, but I love cakes, cookies, pies, donuts, those types of things, brownies. But ice cream is my least favorite on the scale of those things. Like, it's the least favorite thing that I like with ice cream. I like ice cream with all the other things, but just not solely ice cream. That being said, Salt and Straw in Portland, Oregon, where it started, has some amazing, crazy flavors of ice cream. So yeah, I mean, go there and check out some of the wildness that they end up having. For Thanksgiving, they always have like a Thanksgiving dinner type thing, including like a turkey one, a cranberry stuffing, and like all sorts of a mashed potato one. Like, they have some wicked, wicked flavors. Definitely worth trying those ones out. But do I have a favorite flavor? I just like crazy combinations. I don't necessarily like just chocolate or vanilla. Jared Speaks 11 asks, how did I get into sneakers? Really, like, it just started from a young age. I played basketball a lot. I mean, I played basketball every single day. I had a basketball, I had shoes on, and it was free. So I was able to do that a lot because I didn't have a lot of money. And I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun playing pickup games. And really, like, it came down to the Jordan 4 for me. Seeing my neighbor have those ones, Jordan 3s, Jordan 4s. I was just like sprung. I was like, dude, those are awesome. And I grew up in that power, awesome era of Jordan, and watching him play on the big screen, and then seeing the Be Like Mike commercials, and it was just dope. Like, in that era was just awesome. So yeah, that's really what kind of got me honed into sneaker culture, was Jordans. And from that, I just kind of expanded year after year after year. And as soon as it came to the point where I was able to start buying my own sneakers, then yeah, all bets were off at that point. Like, I was like, collect my Air Jordan 1 through 23 and I'm good. And once I did that, then it was like, well, maybe OG colorways, and then blah, blah, blah. And then boom, like, and now we're here where I'm in front of you guys talking about sneakers from a Q&A. Like, it's just been so fun. Like, I just really have been passionate about it. And it all started just from really basketball and Jordan. Jay Pixelated asked, would you help a fan cop a shoe? I've actually helped quite a few people cop shoes. People don't know it. I've done a lot of giveaways on Instagram and Twitter. Most of the time on Twitter, I'll just tweet something out and say, retweet this, and I'll just buy one random person a pair of shoes. I've done that a lot lately. I've done thousands and thousands of dollars in giveaways with stuff like that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I try to help a lot of people out. I really wish there was a better platform to be able to give back to people that are true supporters and of people that really truly need something. Because it's hard to tell the people that are like, yeah, I'm a supporter, or yeah, I really need something. I need my 25th pair of shoes. Meanwhile, there's the other kid in high school that has the same pair from 2 years ago that I really wish I could help out. But it's hard to find those individuals and find those people to help out. If you guys know a way to be able to narrow down that type of a giving sort of thing, I mean, that would be awesome. I just don't know of the proper platform to be able to weed through all the BS, because as much fun as giveaways are, there's so much BS in between. It's crazy. KD2 asks, given the amount of adversity you've overcome in your life, what advice would you give to younger individuals potentially going through a comparable amount? So part of the adversity, if you guys didn't know, I mean, it's not that adverse, but like, I didn't come from a lot of money. My dad, as I mentioned on Twitter the other week, you know, he made $50,000 a year, I believe, for 4 kids. Like, at the end of the day, like, I just didn't have very much growing up. We didn't eat very well. Like, I ate canned vegetables every single night for dinner and stuff like that. So then I also did mention that I was laid off 3 different times from 3 different jobs in the past. And I've never been smart. I never got good grades in school. Never had above a 2.8 in school, basically. But then to be able to turn that around, then be really quite successful in my eyes, at least from what I've came from, the humbler beginnings, to being able to have like a pretty relaxed lifestyle where I can buy anything that I want. Vacation. This is my second house that we're in right now, and I'm in the process of buying a third. I have 0 debt, paid off $100,000 in student loans in the last 2 years. Like, it's just been crazy. I've been really, really financially fortunate because of YouTube and you guys out there supporting this YouTube channel, but also working my day job. I also DJ'd part-time. And then my wife has a great job as well. So I've been really, really fortunate. The advice I'd give to you guys, though, is just to show up. Show up for the job. Show up for work. I was never the smartest person in the room ever, but I was definitely the one that showed up. And if you show up enough times, you are ahead of 98% of the other people out there because they don't show up. They don't try. And all you have to do is try. And eventually, you try enough things, some of those things are going to stick, and you're going to be way far ahead of where you would have been if you would have just been sitting on your ass on the couch, not doing anything. Do all that you can do and use the time that you have, the freedom of that time, to your benefit. Because somebody like me right now, I don't have time. I don't have that freedom. If you do have it, that is a really, really powerful asset. So make sure you utilize it. All right, so we have the family back here, and I'm gonna finish this video with them back there. Is it Johan Head? He asked, with the sneaker culture changing by the minute, what's your favorite change since when you joined the community? Also, what's your least favorite change? So obviously for me, the least favorite, I'll just start there, has to be the corruption with all of the sneaker culture. It's absolutely insane with the fact that you have to use a sneaker bot to cheat to be able to get something, or that people have figured out a way to make it into a business and cheat so much that they can profit so much to be able to like do whatever they need to do to resell everything. At the end of the day, like, I'm not mad at those people. It is what it is. They're finding a loophole in the system, but I feel like the system definitely needs to be fixed because it leaves people that are passionate about the stuff out in the cold and then have to pay on the aftermarket, which is the reason why StockX is so great right now. But at the end of the day, I don't want to pay resale for sneakers. Like, I want to be able to buy them at retail. Half of the experience is being able to get the shoes, and that experience is completely gone in this day and age with that bot market and everything else. Here's my juice. Can you say hi, Harrison? Hi. That's Harrison. That's Maddie. That's Mom. This is Harrison again. Say hi. Hi. Yes, everybody's been asking about you, and they want to make sure you're doing good. You're doing good, huh? Do you like being a big brother? Yeah. What's your little sister name over there? Maddie. Maddie. And how old are you, Harrison? Harrison. How old? 2. 2. And what's your favorite color? Brown. Brown? Yeah. Okay, I'll take it. What do you like? What is your favorite candy? Green. What is that? Green. Green is your favorite candy? Yeah. You're so funny. All right, I'm gonna put you down and get back to my video. Can you say goodbye? Goodbye. My favorite change though in the sneaker community in general is just the fact that there is a sneaker community as massive as it is, and it's expanding ever so much right now because of the fact that we have the ability to connect on the fly through hashtags on Instagram, Facebook, like Twitter, like YouTube, and everything else. I love that side of the culture. I got a boy, a girl. All right, so I had to come back up to the sneaker room to finish this video off. Last couple questions. Will I ever start up my gaming channel again? I wish I could do that. Honestly, I just don't have the time, obviously, to be able to create the content. Otherwise, I would love to do that because I bought the new Black Ops. I was playing Fortnite for a little while just for fun. I had fun playing Modern Warfare 2 for a little while again, but just no time to game. So NatLang34 says, I feel like Nike has taken over Adidas again this year. What are your thoughts about that? For me personally, like, I'm not that shocked because I feel like Nike's always been #1. And Jordan Brand was #2, I guess, and Adidas took them out for a little while. I don't know where they personally stand right now, but at the end of the day, I don't really care because I like that there is diversity amongst those brands and lots of innovation in the last couple of years because they've kind of had to because there's so much competition. So I think that competition sparks great innovation, and I can't wait to see what 2019 holds. Isaiah Faye says, I love your intro, House Full of Kicks. Does that ever interfere with your family life? How often do you downsize your collection? Yeah, the intro was actually fun because it was part of the collection video that I ended up doing, and we had the dude just come through. My buddy Jesse came through and just did a sweep of the entire house for one shot. And I wanted to use that content over again since it was that one moment captured. Because of that, I just reused that content as the intro because it was that moment in time, and I sold half of that collection, at least at this point, maybe a little more than half. But then obviously I've re-upped and bought a lot more pairs here and there. So I got to get back at it and downsize a bit more. I need to downsize about a wall worth of shoes. So it sucks, man. It's a good addiction to have, I guess, except for one that I need more space on. And then this person asked me, what is the most exclusive sneaker that I have? Any shoes with a crazy story behind how I was able to cop them. I mean, most of you guys already know that this is the most exclusive shoe that I probably have, at least in everybody else's opinions. This is the yellow toe sample of the Air Jordan Tokyo 5s. And these things are definitely crazy. I mean, one of the most coveted Air Jordans kind of on the market in general. Resale is crazy, crazy high on these. They only released in Tokyo when they originally came out. And I know basically every time I bring this up, it shocks somebody because they didn't realize that this is actually an inverted 23 on the back of here. And yeah, leave a comment if that shocked you in this video. But yeah, man, I remember seeing these originally. I saw them in Jordan headquarters at somebody's desk. And I was like, I told somebody that I knew over there, I was like, when are those coming out, or how can I get those? Can you make sure that I get a pair because I'm sample size? I never really asked for handouts, and this is one of the few times that I did. And that person actually ended up looking out for me, actually ended up getting my pair. I can't remember if it was before or after the release, but they held them for me, as well as a Chris Paul version. So they had a Chris Paul version with that Tokyo 23 print all over the toe box. So I got both of them gifted to me. They're both really cool samples. And, you know, I've gotten dozens of Nike and Jordan samples through my years of just being in the area. And I can't thank the people enough that have helped me out through the years. Unfortunately, that river's kind of dry now because they can't really do it like that because of all the scandals and stuff in Beaverton. But this is the glory days for me, and definitely one of the most coveted for myself, just because it is what it is, a Tokyo Jordan 5, but also because I ended up getting it. And also, I saw this one before the drop. This shoe was hated on so much. Like, when people first saw this shoe, they were like, ugh, that's terrible looking. Yellow, like Tokyo, those are terrible. But then once they ended up releasing, and then people were like, they're limited, and then it was just all craziness from there on. Everybody's like, oh yeah, the Tokyos, my grails, right? But those same people were like the ones going, yeah, those Tokyos are terrible on Nike Talk, or like leaving comments on blogs of how terrible these Air Jordan 5s are. But anyways, it seemed like things were a lot different back then. Nowadays, everybody just thinks something's dope until it's not. So last question, favorite Off-White Nike collaboration? I gotta go with my Blazers, only because I was gifted these from my friend Lena, who just a nice person. She ended up gifting me these actually last year, right before Complex Con, so literally almost a year ago. And I rocked these to Complex Con because I got them early before the release, and she got them early from going to New York and stuff. And yeah, man, these ones have to be my favorite of the collection. All right, so that is the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed the Q&A video, smack the thumbs up button, leave some comments, let me know what you guys think about this. If you guys want me to do this more often, it gives me something to create for you guys and lets me answer some of the questions, hopefully, that you guys might have out there. So definitely something I look forward to being able to do in the future if you guys deem appropriate. But thank you guys again for stopping by and watching. I am going to Complex Con this weekend. Can't wait to go. So if you guys want to leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what sneakers I should be rocking on day 1 and day 2 of Complex Con, and would like to hear you guys' opinions. But that's pretty much it. Thank you again for stopping by and watching. Got to get back to the family now. Peace, guys.